Today, today's video is going to be about what I carry in my haversack. I often carry what I need, like the bare like I do carry very simple things in my pockets, in my normal pockets, yes. But I also tend to carry this nice canvas haversack here, which, if you look at it, it's been through a decent bit of wear and tear. I've patched it up a couple different times. I've had to modify it because this bag, when you first buy it, is not a bag that has just a standard buckle to it. It has two buckles on either side that have magnetic snaps on them, which, for me, they kept being a problem because they kept wanting to break or unstick. So I gave up, chopped them off, and then restitched it with just a standard buckle and attachment point. But the bag has also been through a decent bit of wear and tear. It's been through the sun quite a bit. So today I will be doing a showcase of what I carry in my haversack here. We'll start with what I carry at the top of it, which is just a simple metal cup. Often back then you'll see they would have carried a metal cup of some kind, some sort of cup for drinking. I carry a small scrap of wire with assortment of buttons on it. I carry, for patchwork, I carry this is specifically a disposable respirator. I use this for if I'm going in, dust storms, or if I'm around dust or soot or whatever. Because I carry this stuff in my cup so it doesn't rattle around as much. I also carry my spare bandana, as well as my cooling rag, because where I live, our weather is, half the year is cold, the other half the year is really hot. So cooling rag and a bandana will help a lot with that. And they're wrapped together with a bit of jute line, which, if you guys know anything about jute, it is flammable. So, in a worst case scenario, emergency fire starter. I also carry, due to the weather going from being warm to cold, some wool gloves. They're very helpful when the weather gets bad. But since I do a lot of outdoor hard labor work with my hands, because my hands get scratched up and scuffed a lot, a set of nice leather work gloves. Keep my hands safe from all the soot and tear. And because I'm on my feet so often and so much, you would have also seen this back in the day too. They often would have carried a spare set of socks. These are just a nice thicker one, not wool, but a nice thick set of socks. I carry, because I have, as you probably have seen, I have decently long hair, so this broke a while ago, so I just decided, pocket comb, or pocket brush. I carry for entertainment while going along the road. Just my trusty harmonica here. It's simple, it's a bit scratched, but it works nicely. Still plays really well too. I have, for additional entertainment, just a deck of cards, and in here I have some dice. Those three things are a lot of entertainment for along the road. As well as for my safety and health, I have an inhaler, some eye drops, and then in this large pouch here, I have just medical supplies. Just basic medical supplies, for like bandages and ointments and stuff. And due to a lot of my equipment needing repairs often, in this old makeup case here, I carry my sewing kit. And if I'm working with a heavier material like a leather or something, and all, to work with it. And the tip that all is safely embedded into a bit of cork. As well as, because another thing for my safety and well-being are my glasses. They are to help me focus my vision. It's just something simple. In this little drawstring bag here, I carry, because, food is kind of a very important thing. I've also had to fix it up a couple different times because it gets wear and tear. And here I carry old beaten fork that's been around for some time. A cheap old spoon that I found a while ago and picked up. Due to food back in the early 1900s, the 1920s and 30s, being canned or bottled So they wouldn't have easy can openers back then. So church key and bottle opener. As well as in the bottom here, I have just some leather strops that I made. And this is mostly so I can keep just notes and stuff. A small little leather bound notebook. This is for if I'm out in the dark and I need to, see a little bit. If I'm trying to write in the nighttime. Candle. Homemade candle. I have, well, this is not technically a blanket pen, but I use it as a blanket pen. It does work. It's also cheaper than buying a bunch of blanket pens, surprisingly. And then for hanging clothes up to dry after, washing them and whatnot, just a simple wooden clothing pen. As well as, I have multiple pairs of gloves. These ones often will sit in my pocket too, which are just my fingerless gloves. These are for if it's too warm for my wool gloves and I don't need work gloves, but I need to keep my palms warm. I do carry, because a lot of my work that I do requires pliers. And if I'm around a fire and whatnot, good needle-nose pliers to get things out of fire and such. This is something that I've had because it's a bit old, it's a bit broken. It was casted away at one point, but a flathead screwdriver, because back then Phillips head screws weren't as a common thing. If you go to Waypoint Survival with James Bender, he actually discussed that a lot, but this can also be used as a chisel too. And then I carry a spare shirt because, well, if my main shirt gets dirty, I need a spare one to change into. And since I carry a phone, as you guys probably could tell, a block for if I have access to, a wall. And then in this little pouch here, I carry a phone transfer kit, which is basically one of those little things that has those little needle points for changing SD card, for changing the cards. It has a cord, so technically it could work as a phone charger, but I also have a charger in here too. I have, basically it's a little adapter so I can switch back data and stuff. In this little old pouch here, a lot of these pouches are handmade, but this little pouch just has some earbuds and a adapter for the earbuds. And then this is a FM radio, crank flashlight, and power bank back here. Allows me to charge my phone if I don't have access to using the block and stuff. And then I have just this old, beaten, scarred up little box here. This box here just carries some just miscellaneous things that I don't want to, lose and stuff. Some cotton thread, a small beat up little cinch bag, a slightly larger cinch bag, and then the bottom here is a even bigger cinch bag, and then some wax paper for carrying food, spare boot lace for my boots because I wear boots, some bank line or just common cord, a bit of vinyl for if I need to patch up these little pouches, or even if I really need to patch up my bag or my coat there, as well as this, a emergency Mylar blanket. Yes, I'll often carry like a small little knit blanket, but if I forget that, or if I really am cold and I really need to keep warm, that'll help. And then just the old canvas pack. So this is what I carry in my haversack. It may seem like a lot, and it kind of is, but this is what I use on a day-to-day, and this is what helps me get through my day-to-day. So I hope you enjoy.